Hey, welcome into another episode of Halos in the Infield podcast. It's been a little while since we've had all three of us together. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
What is up, you pieces of trash? It's Courtney.
All right, Courtney's back with a smile. And
Can we get that like on a t-shirt?
follow us, don't be trash.
Trash.
Yeah. It should just be like Courtney saying trash like on a t-shirt. I'd love that.
You got to run that by Randy.
Or we have that like Rally Chris. Oh, by the way, I'm Fernando, guys. So we have that like Rally Chris, like let's get it, Angels. Let's go.
Best 2 out of 3.
Whenever we're down. Yeah, whenever we lose, we need to post like a gif of Courtney saying trash. And it's like flashing like Batman. Like the old cartoon.
Like have me be like Oscar the Grouch, like, and I come out of a trash can.
There you go.
It's like trash.
When the other team scores like 5 or 6 runs.
Trash.
Trash.
There we go.
And then when it's like a blowout, then just like have it be like a dumpster fire. Like, just have it be bigger.
Todd, do you ever introduce yourself, or do you just say, hey, this is...
Well, I usually say Todd Fox, but I messed up. So, hey, it's Todd Fox. So we're all here.
Oh.
So it's been a few days since we last recorded. We had a couple filler episodes in. We want to catch everyone up on the latest news and notes on the Angels, as well as heading into the offseason in a season that has felt like 3 seasons in one. It's been a long season, so we'll get to some of the recent games that they've been playing, get you sparked and ready for the last few, which they have a couple series versus Seattle and one against Texas to close things out. So where do you want to start with this one, Fernando?
Well, we talked about the White Sox series. Last time we recorded, I don't think we covered the 2 wins for the White Sox because we won on the 15th and the 16th. The 15th, we won 3-2. The 16th, we won 9-3. So the 9-3 win was, I think, our biggest win of this month.
Which is saying something.
I mean, that's 6 runs is a good win most times. But, when you're we're recording this on the 23rd, when that's your biggest win of, the month, that does, it says a lot.
Growth. Yeah, definitely.
And I think that it almost feels like that was our last win. It's been a few days since we won.
That was our last win.
Okay, then there you go. It's been a while. The Angels are just automatically playing out the string. They've been in this mode for a little bit. What are your guys' takes as far as your expectations? Because we've talked about it a lot before this show about how we wanted the Angels to finish September. With all things considered, are they living up to what you guys expected, or are they underperforming?
Well, they've been pieces of ball bags and just completely in the bed. No, I mean, like, I already knew, and we talked about it, how hard the schedule was going to be, the remaining part of the season. We knew it wasn't going to be obviously a cakewalk, and we knew we weren't going to have multiple wins. But the fact that we've only had one, I'm looking at it right now, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins as of right now for the month of September out of, I don't know, 20. So that's really poor. And then like
and we've had 6 wins.
Where? 1, 2, 3,
right?
4.
The 3rd, the 4th, the 7th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 11th.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I said 5.
I said 6.
Where? Sir, where?
The 3rd of September, the 4th of September, the 7th of September, the 15th, the 16th, and the 11th.
Oh, shit. You're
hey,
right.
I'm just saying. Hey,
right.
We got to give the devil his due. We won 6 games. Big difference.
I apologize. I'm wrong. I am wrong. I'm sorry. But still,
I'm getting canceled. I just mansplained Courtney. I'm sorry.
Courtney, you do not teach math, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay,
Thank God.
we're good.
I don't have my glasses on. It's fine.
Just kidding.
It's cool.
But then like some of our individual players, like I know Otani is absolutely tanking. I know one thing we were all trying to like look forward to was like that 10th win, and that was non-existent, so that's fun. I think Fletch isn't doing too hot either. Like it's just, I think we've put 3 more people on the IL, so it's great. We're doing fine over here.
So it's up to expectation. All right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What about you, Fernando?
Little dog meme. This is fine. We're fine. I'm fine. You know, the house is on fire. You just sitting there with the coffee mug. This is fine. Like, you know, not much to say that hasn't been said 1,000 times. And I think that's what makes doing a podcast like this hard during times like this. But the thing that's extra we can add now that I'm sure we're going to talk about later is the fact that now the fat lady has finally sung. It's over. Old Yeller's been taken behind the shed. We're done for the season. And now the Angels are playing like they're done for the season. In years past, when we got eliminated, I distinctly remember them like still playing well. It's like we got eliminated and it's like, well, we're going to win every game here now because why not? You know, like the Angels have always at least been interested in spoiling some parties, spoiling some postseason, you know, stealing champagne, giving it to a team they're not facing. But we're not even getting that right now. Courtney said so herself. Otani, we're hoping for a 10th win. Otani, we're hoping for an MVP. As of right now, you know, is Otani going to win the MVP? We hope so. And I mean, I still think he is, but we're now in a situation where it's, you know, we can't shut down people saying, well, Vlad Jr. is going to win. We used to be like, yeah, whatever, bro. But now it's like, well, there's a chance. It's at least going to be close now. It's not going to be unanimous anymore.
That's true because he's getting his squad either primed or real close to the postseason, and he's been the leader all the way. Yeah. With that being said, I mean, when you think about it, you're like, okay, there's not much to talk about, but then you keep getting these things in the news, talking about, you know, the Skag situation, which we touched on. Now today, Joe Maddon coming out saying, you know, they're going to be big players in the offseason for Max Scherzer and for other players. The day before, he was saying, I'm not dealing with this. You know, this is not going to be something that we're going to go into next season with, the lackluster play. Like, he's sort of slamming the players and not taking accountability. That's what I got out of it. What did you guys get out of that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to say he's not taking accountability, but then it's just like at the same time, it's just like, what else did he have to work with? You know, like, I mean, we've said it time and time again, the injuries. Did we hit that mark of putting the most people on the IL?
We're at a stalemate still, two away still.
Oh, thank God. Well, I guess that's a plus. But, you know, still, it's just like, you know, like we don't even have Adele now. Like, I think our 3 in the outfield today that started, I think, was Goslin in left field, Marsh in center, and I think Rojas in right.
Yeah.
Like if you would have told me that even a month ago, I'm like, no, thank you. We still would have had Adele or at least maybe Upton, but now we don't even have those two. So I'm just like, what do you mean? You know, but then at the same time, just as a coach, no matter what you have to deal with or who you have to deal with, you still have to find a way to bring that spark to your team. Like that's why you're a coach. That's why you're a leader. And, you know, I think Maddon in a way kind of gave up too, honestly. So.
What do you think, Fernando?
I mean, I want to channel my inner Stephen A. Smith and just tell Joe Maddon, we don't care. We don't care. You know, that's all we hear every single year. Dude, if I had a dime for every single time that the Angels said, oh, well, we're going to go after this guy, or this is going to be a big offseason. I'm tired of hearing the consolation. This is going to be a big offseason. We're tired of this. We're going to do whatever we can to get so. Literally insert any name over the last decade. I am tired of hearing it. How about instead of saying we're going to do whatever it takes to get Max Scherzer, we say we're going to do whatever it takes to get the best pitchers possible here. I don't care about Max Scherzer. I don't care about whoever, Justin Verlander. I don't care if we're going to get freaking, you know, Garrett Cole somehow in a trade. What I want is for once for them to say, especially Perry, to say we're going to step back do a deep evaluation and find the players that are going to systematically fit what we're doing here, because we can't just keep picking the best name in free agency, giving them a big contract and putting us in the same situation we've been in for the last 7 years. Guys, it hasn't worked. I mean, it's been longer than 7 years. I mean, yes, 7 years ago, we made the playoffs in 2014. Great. We didn't win a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, right now, I would kill to make the divisional round and get swept.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the thing that I was thinking about too, is Perry's been keeping his cards really close to his chest. He hasn't been saying much, but today for Joe Maddon to come out and express that they're absolutely going after Max Scherzer is something that goes along the lines of previous general managers such as Epler and others. And like you said, like you want to go after the best player and not tell the league that you're sold in on one guy. Because
you're already bidding yourself up automatically.
Yeah, exactly. And you've mentioned that several times, and that's why I think Perry's got he's face palming right now. Like, dude, that's my job. Shut the hell up. It's just, I don't know. Like right now, like we want to go into a positive offseason, but you're thinking about the Skaggs situation. You wanted the team, like Courtney said, to finish better, like you've said that they've done in the past, and right now, the way they're playing, it's like, because for me, I take offense because I see the Rockies. They have a lesser roster than us, even with all our injuries. And they're still out there playing toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. You know, the Pirates are doing the same thing. They're playing toe-to-toe with any team that they have to face. Why can't that be us? Why can't we put up the effort? To me, it's the injuries are going to make an excuse to keep Maddon another year. I really feel there should be a change that should be made going into next season. Just go with a goddamn fresh start. What do you guys think? Do you think that's something that the Angels need to do, or does he get a pass?
Clean house. Get rid of everybody. Get rid of everyone. I don't care. Start from scratch. Start from scratch, and you need to earn it. I'm sorry, Madden hasn't earned it. I don't care about the injuries. I don't care about a COVID season. I don't care about any of it. You need to earn it. And even with the poor play that we're having right now, you're still not earning it. Like, and I think he had a shirt on the other day during an interview that said, "Let's try not to suck." And don't get me wrong, it's funny. I liked it. Yeah, but still, I mean, it goes to show, it's just like, yeah, let's try not to suck. But I mean, who do you think you are? Like, what do you think, that you're just some bystander? Do you think you're a fan? Like, you're the coach. Like, what? You have some input in this too, my guy. Like, what are you doing? So I mean, I just think we need to pretty much clean house altogether.
Okay, Fernando.
For the record, the try not to suck shirts are simply for his charity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was applying that to his team, because that message could be put on the team as well. Yeah,
he did that in 2016 as well. They had the shirts. That's kind of the first time I saw them. I'm sure they were around before that. I'm trying to see what exactly his charity benefits, but I'm sure I can find that information some other time. But yeah, that's what it benefits, his charity. So, take that for what it is. But I mean, I've told you guys repetitively, personally, I don't think they get rid of Maddon. I don't see why they would when he's got one more year under contract. Will he get brought back after that? Well, that's a different situation. I think Artie's going to fall under he had a ton of injuries, so we won't fire him. I think he'll use that as an excuse, especially because Joe Maddon is Artie's guy, and we know how Artie Moreno is when it comes to his guys.
That's true. And moving forward too with this team, as we go down the stretch, they've tried some things, especially in the month of September, $3 tickets to get into the stadium. And it's been sad on so many levels that you still can't draw more than about 18,000 per game. This is a team that since the 2000-2001 season, when they struggled with attendance before the 2002 season, before obviously reasons the fans came and they stayed, but this is the first season, even with all the seasons we've had since 2014, where the fans have tapped out, and they're sending a message. Do you think Artie's going to hear that message in the offseason? Because this is something, like Fernando said, has been an occurring thing over and over and over. Is it something that he's finally going to go to action and let his boys do the job, such as Perry?
Nope, because there's people still there. It somewhat worked. Like you know, I won't even go to a game with $3 tickets. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But there are still those few diehards that are at the stadium right now, eating their helmet full of nachos, and they're still there. So I don't think it's clicking into Artie yet, because probably to Artie, he's just like, well, it's the end of the season, Oh, it's the end of the season, and now we don't have like our big ticket guys besides Otani, who is now sucking.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's no playoff run, there's no anything. And it's not even like at this point we can dismantle somebody else. Like we are literally done. So, but to Artie, he won't see that at all. It's not clicking in yet, because there are still those few fans that will go. So, nope.
What do you think, Fernando?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think he thinks like that. I don't think his brain's wired, to think that certain way. I mean, I'm traveling right now. I admittedly would go to a game right now if I was in the area, because why not? I just like going to baseball games. Mm-hmm. I don't think Artie Moreno is going to care whether the stadium's full or not full. Artie Moreno is living in his own world, and I don't think he really pays attention to that kind of stuff. He kind of knew that whole 3 million was going to come to an end this year, I think, because of COVID. Plus, it came to an end last year. Maybe by some technicality, they would have been like, well, no, we're still counting it. And, who knows, maybe they would have acknowledged it in some kind of record book. But, in all, it ended already anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So do
you think he cares, Todd? You never give us your input on things. You're more of a host. Come on, man. Where's your input?
I think in a way, if you're going to put me on the spot right there, I think he cares, but he only cares about his image. It's weird. It's a catch-22 in my mind. I think he cares about his image. He could do so much that you've said, I've said about in the community to fix his image. He refuses to do that. He wants to be a Jerry Jones type guy where, hey, look, I told Perry to go after that guy. We got that guy, and he's got 20 wins. Send your thank yous to me. But he, instead of just, he meddles too much. And I think right now he'll go in his hole. He'll hide out. He won't do interviews. He's only going to come out when they win. I really don't think he cares to the level of even an owner that wants to make himself look good, even with an owner that wants his ego to be up there. You got to spend money to make money. You got to make the right moves to win games. And he doesn't have that mindset, like you said. He's built different. And I think because of that, the organization has struggled. I just don't think he. Long story short, I just don't think he's that type of owner, man. I just don't think he is.
True. Okay. Just to backtrack on like going after the big names for the offseason, like how we're supposed to go after Max Scherzer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds great, but I don't know why I'm getting like PTSD from like getting Tim Lincecum.
I mean, you don't know why?
like, oh yeah, we're gonna get, Tim Lincecum was coming off a World Series, a World Series rotation, and shit the bed for us. So that was fun. Who else was on that rotation? I think CJ Wilson. I think we got a few good starts out of him, but like, I'm just getting all these bad vibes again from like getting these big name guys, and then of course our most recent Albert Pujols. So I'm just like, what's a big name gonna do? Besides, bring in more fans that Artie wants. But I mean, is it really going to fit the team? Like, is Max Scherzer really going to fit the team? Yeah, it really sounds great. When we started this season, all the names that we had on our rotation and our rosters sounded great. But now look how most of them are either hurt, not here, traded away, everything else. So,
yeah, I think you guys are right, because I mean, being cynical right now as an Angels fan is I mean, you really can't sit there and say, oh man, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I mean, it's just sort of wait and see. Here we go again, like Fernando said, like you got to see if this is gonna happen or not. And it sucks, but this is the groundwork that they've laid this in the last few years. What do you think, Fernando?
Yeah, like I told you, for once, I just want them to have the right answer. The right answer isn't always get the sexy name.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times, the answer is we're going to reevaluate the situation. We're going to look at guys who are going to help us, be effective. There's many ways we can upgrade this team without breaking the bank and not making any long-term commitments. If you're going to sign Scherzer to a 2-year deal, you know what? I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care if there's some guys that you sign to a long deal that's lower in value. For instance, like everyone's like, well, we need to go out there and we need to get some big shortstops. I mean, there's a lot of big names that are going to be sexy names for shortstop. I haven't heard a single person bring up, hey, Chris Taylor's a free agent at second base for the Dodgers. Chris Taylor isn't going to be super expensive. Chris Taylor can play second base. And who do we have that can play shortstop? A guy named David Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him play shortstop. How come we're not thinking that? Everyone's like, well, we need to get Carlos Correa. Well, we need to get Trevor Story. That's the same mentality that's got us into this mess, and it's the same mentality that's going to keep bringing us in this never-ending cycle.
I agree. I think right now we're measuring ourselves to the Dodgers too much as far as they can go out and get whoever they want. They can go out and accept a trade or get a free agent and not work out because they could pull from their endless amount of minor leagues players from the minor league system, and they could also pick up another free agent because that's just until the salary cap changes, they've got endless resources. So, but the Angels aren't like that, and they have to do exactly what Fernando says, not always go for the sexy pick, get a good player, but they're forever going for the sexy pick, and then it bites them in the ass because then they have to play out the contract or pay out the contract, and then that hurts the overall roster in the long run. And then you're having to pick and choose, like what Courtney said, getting your Tin Lincecums of the world at the end of their
Trevor Cahills.
Yeah. Get
Matt
them at
Harveys.
We got
listen to the urinating tree interview, and we talk about all those contracts like 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Look, if I can real quick elaborate on this Chris Taylor thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys have seen the Dodgers. Chris Taylor, solid player.
Mm-hmm.
He's nothing crazy. This guy's getting $7.8 million this year. I don't mind giving him 5 years, $50 million. Oh, my God, $10 million a year. But here's the thing. $10 million a year is a lot less than you're going to pay Trevor Story, Carlos Correa, Corey Seager, insert any shortstop name here. And here's the thing. Let's just say you give Chris Taylor a longer 5-year deal at $10 million each year. The way I see it, he's so versatile that even those last 2 years when he's 35 and 36, he might not be batting 280 anymore, but he will at least play any position you put him in. You got to find these guys that are still going to help you in 5 years.
No, and I agree. I think the sexiest thing about Chris Taylor is, and I hate him as a Dodger because he's the guy that you can probably you can't pitch around, like you're pitching around the other guys to get to him, but then when you get to him because you're scared of Bellinger, you're scared of their other hitters that they got. When you get to him, he will put up an incredible at bat. I've seen it too many times where he works like a 10-pitch, 12-pitch at bat. Or he'll work a walk when he's down 0-2, or he gets a clutch double or something always happens. The guy is like, you want hitters like that. And what do the Angels lack? Guys who take pitches, guys who work walks. He's a high on base percentage guy. I wish the Angels would go after more guys like him. So, yeah, I'm with you. If they were get a guy like Taylor, I'm all for it.
He's got a career .337 on base percentage. Okay, this year he's has a WAR of 3. He has 20 home runs. He's batting .258, 73 RBIs. And like I said, he can play all outfield positions, shortstop and second base. Mm-hmm. Hell, maybe you can put him at shortstop. That's the thing. David Fletcher and Chris Taylor are both versatile.
Yep. Yeah,
so you can flip and flop them. And they're almost the same player, except, David Fletcher is a little more of a contact guy. A little more of a slapper, as Courtney likes to call it, because he can go to all fields. And that's kind of the problem right now with David Fletcher that we're seeing. He's not going to all fields. It's almost the complete opposite of what we're used to seeing from David Fletcher. It's like this is a different player that we're watching right now.
Or Fletcher swings at pitches 10 feet in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the thing. He swings at those pitches and nobody else does, yet he normally makes contact.
Yeah.
I mean, how many pitches have we seen that he swings at that are like at his head, and yet he makes contact?
True.
True. I'm on the Marcus Simeon train, so
Yeah. I like Simeon too. That is a guy because like I'm scared of Seager because of injury problems.
Yeah.
I like Correa, but that would eat up a lot of money. Even though he's 27, he's a prototypical guy that if we were in a better situation, we had a better team, I would say spend the money on that dude. But Marcus Simeon, like you said, consistent ball player, never hurt, good defense, hits a lot of home runs. I like him. I like him a lot, and he's smart. He's an Oakland trained hitter, so he's gonna work walks too. He gets on base.
that's what I like Simeon. I just think Seager is the only, at least that I'm aware of, is the only position player that's had Tommy John surgery. I'm just like, how do you do that? Like, how do you do that? But yes, he's very injury prone. I don't like Seager. Like, yeah, the name will bring attention, just like Rendon did after he's done stuffing his vagina. But it's just too much there. I can't do it, and I just don't like Trevor Story. I don't.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but I just don't like the name of like, oh, Trevor Story being an angel. I'm like, no. Like, what do you? I don't like it. I just don't.
I'm not a fan of him either, and especially Colorado players. But I really didn't like what he did. I don't know if you guys remember the day after the trade deadline, and he wasn't traded. He threw a tantrum on the bus when they were leaving the stadium, yelling, screaming, and throwing shit off the bus.
Oh,
So,
like
Jesus.
5-year-old?
yeah, because he was fully expecting to be out of Colorado, and for what he threw a big man tantrum on the bus.
Oh, I love it. Good. That's
I didn't hear about that, but
Watch, Google it. They have a whole article about it. So,
Oh, I love it.
not a
Fucking
fan.
asshole.
Not a fan of Trevor's Story.
real quick, what I'm going to say about Marcus Simeon is he's projected next year to make about $31 million.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys really feel comfortable getting another one of those contracts?
No. If there was some way we could work a 20 to 25, I'd go for that. Even though that's high, but when you start reaching 30 million, and there's so much more that the Angels got to spend money on, I don't know.
That's why I keep saying you got to spend money in the right places. And, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, well, a guy like Chris Taylor is the answer. What I'm saying is guys like that are the answer. There's a lot of pieces around us that we just kind of have to look for. And that's the thing. If you bring in a guy like him, people are going to be like, oh, my God, here we go with these BS moves again. People are going to be like, okay, I like that move. He's not that expensive, and that's a good move. Because like you said, he played up the road. People have seen him. People know who he is, and, he's a little bit of a name. We don't need to get these players who are going to, command these big contracts. Those players are fun to watch in theory, but I'm tired of seeing those players. I want to see players who are actually going to help us.
Yeah, I think if say, for instance, best case scenario, Simeon's still out there for whatever reason, and the Angels have filled the void with either Scherzer or someone else to anchor that rotation. They've gotten a left fielder or something like that. Maybe it's only a few weeks in, but the Angels have made a lot of moves. And you got the money, and he's still there, and you spend 20 to 28 million on him a year. I'm good with that, as long as they filled the other holes. What I don't want to see is them on a shortstop, because I do like what you're saying about Taylor. But I'm just saying that'd be the only way I would say, okay, a Simeon or a Correa would be justified, is if those other holes were fixed first. Because like what they did with Rendon, they're just like, well, we need pitching. Rendon! And they went for him right away. So.
Well, they're like, we need pitching. They really tried, so they say, to get Garrett Cole. Mm-hmm. They whiffed like Albert swinging with his wrist, and they were like, Rendon!
Yeah. That's the answer.
Yeah, what do you say? We went to our lefty or whatever they said, like during the interview. Yeah. We went to our backup plan.
Yeah.
So, or real quick, okay, this is probably something to talk about for an off-season episode. Mm-hmm. But I want both of you guys, and then I'll go at last, to give me your like really brief off-season wish list. Like for 5 things, like like this, and this. Like, what are the things you need to address? Not even player-wise, but like number 1 is getting an ace, number 2, et cetera, et cetera. Go ahead.
For everybody to stop having man periods. For our training staff.
It's not going to happen.
I know. For our training staff to be axed, to be cut. Training staff needs to go, for one. Secondly, I would like an ace. I think an ace would be nice if we could afford one. So that would be my little wish list. Let me see. Third, I honestly just think we need somebody, any player. I don't even care where they play at, but somebody small and fast. Like somebody like with a Sean Figgins mentality. Like I know we have Fletcher. I love Fletcher. I'm not trying to say nothing, but he can't do it all by himself. I think somebody else that maybe does have a little bit more power. So that would be nice.
Can't think of a lot of speed guys that have power.
Marte.
They exist.
I was like, Marte is pretty fast.
Starling Marte?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a free agent?
I think he will be, yeah. Because that's why Oakland got him.
That's not a bad move, actually. Marte, I didn't know Starling Marte's. I liked him when he was in Pittsburgh, and he's been playing really good. So that's a good one right there.
Yeah.
But the problem is, well, then what are you going to do in the outfield? Like I said, obviously that's an off-season topic, and I don't hate that move either. But then you'll probably trade away Marsh or Adele.
Fine. That's fine. Trade Upton too. I don't care.
Okay.
And then lastly would be catching. I would like another catcher. I stand Stassi. Don't get me wrong. I love Stassi. But again, he can't do it all by himself. And we need a solid backup, not just like, just kind of throw him in. Like a solid backup to where it should not matter who we start, Stassi or a different catcher. All of our pitchers are comfortable and the game could go smoothly. So another solid catcher.
Okay. I think I'm with Courtney right away. I think training staff needs to be cleaned out completely. That needs to be number one. First day of free agency, Rasil's got to be re-signed. And also you work in at the same time trying to get that ace for number 3 and also a setup guy. Or unless you trust the staff here that you can use one of them as a setup guy here, depending on if you want to use Warren or other pitchers like that to be set up. But I think a legit setup guy and then use those other guys in less situations would be good. And then, I would go with finding a way to get rid of Upton, whether you have to package a few pitchers to go with him. I don't care who it is. You got to get rid of Upton's contract. That would give you more leverage to pull in a left fielder like Marte. And there's got to be a way that you can work Marsh and Adele into the lineup. I think Marsh could be that speedy left-handed leadoff guy if you don't get like a Marte or a backup outfielder, because he reminds me a lot of Darren Erstad. I think his stats are going to get better. It's just his first year. I love his approach at the plate, and his power will come along. Adele was just finding his freaking groove and looking really good before he got hurt. I think both of them are going to be good for the Angels next year. And then I'm with Courtney again. I think catching, I am not happy with having just a defensive catcher. I'm not happy with a guy that, like, if Stassi's right now, his August and September have been pathetic. He was hitting 300 the entire season, and he's just hit a real roadblock. And he's got no one behind him. I'm tired of these 36 to 38-year-old catchers as backups. I want to see a young guy in there, not an Anthony Ben Boom either. That's a 4A player. I want to see a good catcher, like she said, that's reliable, that, okay, if Stassi needs a night off, we don't have to worry about whoever's pitching Sandoval, or catching Sandoval. The dude's good. And then not only that, he could provide some pop. And I'm tired of these guys that we got now. Suzuki, who was shitting the bed the whole year, and then as soon as we're eliminated or no one cares, all of a sudden he's hitting 2 hits a night. It's like, okay, here we go. I don't like that type of player.
Okay. All right. So for me, my really quick checklist. Number 1, I'm totally with you guys. Training staff, at least address it. Hell, at least if you fire one person, we're like, hey, something.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes,
Just to get the fans off right back. I mean, I think we should clean house completely with the training staff. But like I said, if we can get one guy fired, then it's like, oh, hallelujah, we did something.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you take care of that, Number 2 is going to be getting rid of the Upton contract.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you can get somebody to take all $28 million, I will give you Jaime Barria. I will give you Griffin Canning. 2 promising pitchers. You know, I think we're going to be okay without those guys. 2 other teams are going to be like, okay, well, hey, 2 young, promising pitchers, especially Canning. Cool. You know, maybe somebody will take that. Okay. So after we take care of that, obviously addressing shortstop - second base, whichever one of those you feel you can do better, is going to be a big key thing. Number 4, I want us to go after not necessarily an ace, but a guy who can lead the team. And then one other, you know, maybe supporting pitcher, you know, a Luis Castillo type of guy. I know Joe Musgrove, you know, is on the Padres and he's going to be there, but a guy like that, maybe a guy who just needs to change the scenery, who's a decent pitcher where he is right now, but could be a little bit better somewhere else. You know, not a complete gamble like, you know, Matt Harvey and any of those guys, but a guy who is a calculated risk. Because, hey, we've seen him be successful elsewhere, you know, kind of like Alex Cobb, but maybe a little better. Because Alex Cobb is a complete shot in the dark.
Yeah, and is he real quick, is he another Bundy for next year? Or do you think Cobb, if re-signed, can redo what he's doing this season?
I give him a 2-year deal. I mean, I give him the opportunity. I don't think he's going to break the bank. So, you know.
What do you think, Courtney?
I stand Alex Cobb. I'll give him a 2-year deal. So
Corn on the cob. Well, I mean, he pitched good tonight too. In tonight's game that's going on while we're doing this, he pitched almost 6 innings tonight, only 1 run on 3 hits. So that's not bad. I mean, if we're getting pitching like him in the start of the season, this you know, like we've gotten in the second half, this we could have more than 72 wins easy. You know, that was the problem in the first 3 months, was just the pitching was so horrid. You guys think if we all established this earlier too with Maddon, and by the way, it's a good list you brought up, Fernando. I'm with you.
You didn't let me finish. I still had number 5.
Oh, you did? I thought you had, oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, I'm with you guys on the catcher. So what I would consider is going after one of these guys who has a club option. So Christian Vasquez of the Red Sox, Tucker Barnhart, hell, maybe even Mike Zunino. He's not a great hitter, but, you know, I'm not saying get rid of Stassi. You know, you keep Stassi, but you have one of these guys as a safety net. You know, Christian Vasquez and Tucker Barnhart are 2 interesting ones. They're both on club option. They're both going to be making either 7 or 7.5. 7 for Christian Vasquez, 7.5 for Tucker Barnhart. And the thing with those guys, since they're on a club option, you're probably going to get them pretty cheap because they're free agents after this following year. The Angels did that a couple years ago with Yunel Escobar. They got him for basically free because the Nationals wanted to get something for him. So the Angels traded for him, picked up his club option for that year and the following year. So, you know, these are the kind of guys you need to take flyers on, because, you know, Escobar, for the 2 years he was an Angel, was very productive. He was one of our best contact hitters for both of those years.
Yeah, I did like him as a ball player. Good clubhouse guy too. What's
No.
I know, I'm just kidding. Well, what's Vasquez's numbers?
Let me take a quick look. I had him on fantasy, so I know he wasn't absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I heard some good things about him, and he's pretty legit behind the plate. So,
yeah, he definitely has a good presence back there. You know, I think he's only about 29 years old. So, you know, he is going to start hitting that free agency age. Let's see. So this year he's batting .263 with a WAR of 1.2, on-base percentage of .314, 8 stolen bases, slugging percentage of .356. So, you know, he's not going to take the world by storm, but he's certainly somebody who I wouldn't be afraid to take a flyer on.
Yeah, I agree, because I'm like, it's very hard to get a catcher, as we all know, as Angels or any organization, that's going to be, you know, you have a go-to guy that you can go to 5 to 6 times a week, have another guy start a game, and just be that legit catcher to knock in 25 and 100. Those are rare guys in this league nowadays. But if you can put together two catchers that could put together those kind of numbers, or not even 25 and 100, but maybe combined they hit about 19 to 20 and about 60 to 70 RBIs in a season, I'm for that. And I kind of thought maybe Suzuki with a good season and Stassi with a good season could maybe replicate that, and you get two players that can work off each other on nightly basis and give you those numbers. But Courtney's like, nope. She knew. Look, I was optimistic, okay? I was optimistic.
That was her. As soon as I heard, oh, we're signing Kurt Suzuki, I was like, what are you saying?
Yeah,
What
who?
say? Like, I was like, no, we're not. And like, why would we set ourselves up for failure? Who else is for you?
Actually, Kurt Suzuki on paper wasn't a horrible move because he actually wasn't that bad in 2020. And that's the thing that sucks. You know, we get these guys who, well, you know, historically they haven't been that bad. They've been average. They've been consistent players. And they come here and all of a sudden the regression starts. You know, hey, that could be because of Pokemon Go and Nacho Helmet. But
yeah, exactly.
Jeremy Reed and Paul Sorrento, for those of you guys who might have just accidentally clicked on this podcast and haven't clicked out yet. But, you know, that's the thing, man. It's like, I'm so tired of like the regression. You know, how about we trade for some of these guys who are younger? And the thing is, if we trade for a guy like Christian Vasquez, he comes here and flops. You know, I'd much rather have that than bringing in a guy who's 38 years old and flopped. Because at least, hey, you know, we went younger. You know, sometimes you're going to go after these guys who are younger. They are going to flop. But, hey, he also has potential to do well. And maybe since him and Stassi would be on a contract year, they're both going to, you know, do better. It's just like a quarterback competition in training camp. You know, for those of you guys who watch football, you know, you do that. You bring in two guys who are capable because you want to bring the better competition to the two. I mean, look at the Broncos. They brought in Teddy Bridgewater, and he ended up being the better man. Maybe that's going to be what the Angels do this year at catcher. You know, there's a lot of cheap options. I mean, I brought up Williams Astudillo before, but I digress.
No.
Well, right when we did the Kurt Suzuki slander, he just singled the right. He's like, F you guys.
Love it. That's what we need. Big fuck you to the face. What about Austin Romine?
I mean,
he's just that kind of player. He's an A.
He's better than Suzuki, though. I'll give you that. He's better than Suzuki.
No argument.
But
no. Okay, last one. Just for shits and giggles. What about Jeff Mathis?
Oh no! Come on. That is shits and giggles. I'd rather see Paul Sorrento out there hitting.
There we go. Now we're thinking.
And here's the thing: I brought this up on the live show. I can't believe that these guys were signed as hitting coaches. Usually, you want to sign hitting coaches that are veterans, that had good careers, that could pass on their knowledge to the players, who are who are very approachable type dudes. Sorrento looks like he wants to kick your ass if you touch his nachos, and Jeremy Reed is off in La La Land finding Pokemon. And you look at their stats, and Sorrento's best year, he was a 257 hitter, 269 hitter, and you know it was for 1 year with Cleveland, and he had struck out a gang of times. He pulled the ball a lot, which now reminds me of how Tani's approaching every night. And then you look at Jeremy Reed, and Jeremy Reed's best season, he hit 267, 3 homers, 48 RBIs. How does that make you a freaking hitting coach on any level, let alone a major league roster? I just don't understand. Other teams are like, hey, Chili Davis, we like him. Even though he struggled in New York, he was a hitting coach. Other places, successful. Paul Molitor, former Hall of Famer, Brewers a hitting coach, did good. You have all these other guys that have been hitting coaches that were great hitters. You know, hell, if the Angels wanted, I know he's banned from Major League Baseball now, but
he's gonna say P. Rose.
No, I was gonna say Rafael Palmeiro, because he was a good hitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like he had a good career. If the Angels would get him, I'd be like, sign him. He knows his shit.
Okay, I got one for you guys. So let's assume Pujols retires. He's on a 10-year.
No.
He's on a 10-year deal with us, right? No. Pujols is on a 10-year personal services contract with the Angels once he retires. It was part of his deal.
Yes, but no.
Does he get looks at the hitting coach?
No.
For other teams? Or for us?
No, for us, because he's
No.
on a 10-year contract with us once he retires. So
No.
what's he going to do with that contract? He is stuck here for 10 years once he retires.
Put him
So
in
what are the Angels going to
charity.
use him as?
No, put him in charge of a charity or something. I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
No, he doesn't need to touch a field or a baseball ever
No,
again.
because he's going to teach these guys, listen, swing over sliders, hit into as many double plays as you possibly can.
Launch angle.
You know what? I'm going to disagree there. Honestly, I've seen Albert Pujols take batting practice during spring training, and batting practice Albert Pujols is totally different than in a game Albert Pujols. Like watching him take batting practice is almost like poetic.
Really?
Okay, you don't win games from batting practice.
Well,
No, but you do need batting practice to win games. We've learned that this year.
yeah, we have learned
We
that.
have learned that, yes.
But here's my thing though.
Okay.
If he does bring that approach and he is impersonable, people look up to him, and maybe he has those traits better as a coach than a player. The fans like Courtney and myself, first reactions are just no. Like, we're tired of seeing this guy because we know what he did on the field hurting the team more than he did helping the team. So we're going to be very, very judgmental right off the bat, because we're going to think, oh, here we go again. He's going to hurt now these young players coming up. Maybe you've got the right idea, Fernando. Maybe that he is better suited as a coach than he is a hitter. But the fans, though, I think that's
and I agree. And I mean, trust me, the fan side of me doesn't like that. I'm just trying to be practical. I know he's going to be here for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to use him in some capacity. I mean, here's the thing. Paul Sereno, Jeremy Reed were not good hitters. Albert Pujols, to this day, if we're talking in terms of his Cardinals career, was one of the best hitters we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Cardinals, Albert Pujols, hands down, was the best batter we have seen. And I don't think Todd can dispute it.
Nope.
Courtney can't dispute it. Angels, Albert Pujols, obviously a shit show. But Cardinals, Albert Pujols, nobody can deny, was the best hitter we've ever seen.
And that's true, but like Todd said, like as a fan base, I know that we wouldn't give him a fair chance.
Yeah.
So like if it just, for whatever reason for spring training, we start losing spring training games and then we lose the first 15 at home, that's it. We're just going to be like, no, it's because of Albert Pujols. It could be something completely different, but we're like, no, it's Albert Pujols' fault. Like we're going to blame him for everything. So just even if we made that move, I know we're still stuck with him for 10 years. I feel like off the bat, maybe we wouldn't give him the greatest of chances. Maybe for these next couple of years, have him do something else, have him be like a liaison for the DR or wherever he's from. Maybe do something like that. And then maybe on that last half, bring him in as a hitting coach if we're still doing poorly.
Yeah.
Assistant hitting coach?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. But and then if the real hitting coach gets fired, he moves into that spot. Who knows? But I like what Courtney said. He could he could help recruit players from Cuba and Dominican Republic. Go over there.
Latin players.
Absolutely. He'd be a big draw. I mean, you have Albert Pujols freaking trying to recruit you. Hell yeah, we'd get a lot more international players. That's a smart move. So that means the Angels won't do it. But that's a very smart move. But I wanted to mention one other thing too. Like, you remember Don Baylor when he was here as a hitting coach briefly before he passed. He did make an impersonate in person. He really helped the players when he was here. And the same thing with Rod Carew when he was here as a hitting coach. You would hear these interviews from players when they would do their side interviews before games or after, and they'd say, you know what, I really credit my hot hitting streak to Rod Carew. He helped me out in the cages. He showed me a few things. He told me about, he helps me before a game to look at certain pitchers and their tendencies and things like that. Those were the type of guys that Baylor and Carew were that were all-stars in their careers and handed down their brilliance to the next generation. When or if it would be the first time I've ever heard it, but have you guys ever heard any of these current Angels say, you know what, man, I'm hitting the ball a lot better because of what Jeremy Reed told me, or Paul Sereno just gave me a nugget that I didn't even think about, and I was able to change my swing, and it was a little tweak, but look at the results. No, I mean, we never hear these players say shit about the hitting coaches.
But you hear them say about other players, like you hear guys be like, "Oh, well, Albert mentored me or Trout mentored me." You hear both of those.
Yes.
You did hear about Albert, and you do hear about Trout helping people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you even hear about just some of the spurred up. I've even heard Upton's name, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you're right. You don't hear anything about really any of the coaches. I've never heard anybody be like, "Oh yeah, I work with Joe in the cage," or "Oh, Joe helped me tweak this or that." Even
I've just heard Jose's been helping the pitchers, Jose Molina, and that's not
well, you
even
can see him helping the pitchers. You go to the games and it's apparent.
Yeah, but that's not even his job. That's what I love. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, "Well, Matt Wise has been doing good with his staff." I'm like, I think that's more Jose. Jose's been talking to the pitchers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jose Molina, yeah.
So I'm with you. Some people even said on the post games that coaching is overrated. I'm like, no, it's not, man. I mean, the manager's one thing, but you need those other coaches to be doing their jobs. And if they're not, then the results are on the field. And we've seen it.
I think the biggest thing that coaches do in Major League Baseball is hold players accountable.
Yep.
That's your number one job. Your number one job is to be like, cool, you might be Mike Trout. You might be Shohei Ohtani, et cetera, but right now you ain't shit. And I think your job as a coach is to keep your players in the right perspective. I'm sure we've all played sports where you've had your coach call you out on something and, you kind of like, you know what, maybe he is right or she is right. Maybe I am doing this. So, maybe you tweak a little something and it's, okay, maybe you're back in the swing of things. That's the whole point of sports. Sports is all about adjustments. That's why a lot of times guys or girls who are super cocky and set in their ways don't pan out. Don't believe me? Ask Johnny Manziel. There's people who get stuck in their ways, who don't want to listen to others, and their careers pay the ultimate price. Guys like Trout make adjustments. I mean, remember Cole Calhoun he was in that giant slump. I forgot what year it was, maybe like 2019 or so, maybe 2018 even. I think it was 2018. He completely changed his batting stance. How many guys do you see in the major leagues completely change their batting stance? Literally, like, we're going to hit the reset button. It doesn't happen nowadays. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. That's your job as a coach to tell somebody, hey, cool, bro, you got up to here, but you're not going to last long if you're afraid to adjust.
Totally agree.
Agree.
But yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, the coaches make a big difference. And like you said, tweaking things, changing batting stances. Yeah, it's rare, but when it happens, they could point back and say, if I didn't get this bit of advice, I wouldn't be making $500 to a couple $1 million extra a year, or even that in general. It all comes. Yeah. That's why I was trying to bring out too, is like, these hitting coaches are here to help you not only win, but they're here to help you, advance your career. And maybe in a year where we think, oh, this guy just sucks, he just never got the right mentorship. And what if this was Wong's only year to be good? And what if Wong didn't get the right, help? He's out. He got
the Wong help.
Yeah, he got the Wong help. so instead of the white help, that's just.
Oh, canceled.
Oh no.
That was a stupid Grill Master joke. Okay, man, I took that from him. But,
yeah, he likes to use the Wong ones. That's why I threw that in there. The white help, that was incorrect. Bad, Todd.
Sorry.
Time out, Todd.
Been canceled like a dozen times this year.
Yep.
So let's transition here a little bit. We've got
dude. I just thought of a perfect segment. We can do Todd's timeout corner, where you talk about one player who's doing really bad, and we put him on timeout for the week, and then they have to try to work themselves out.
Just have them facing a wall.
There you go.
And then have the little dunce hat on him.
Dude, that could be a daily post. For
Todd's timeout corner. There you go, guys. See, we think about things on the fly.
Instead of question of the day, it's dunce of the day.
Yeah, dunce of the day.
Oh,
that's good. The guy who sucked for us, who dunce of the day. Boom, Phil Goff.
We can do that like after the game.
Yeah.
That way we have like our morning post and our night post.
Like on the post game, like when we do like the live post games, like on Instagram and stuff, ask the fans like, oh, who should we have as the dunces of the day? Dunce of the
People can
game.
vote.
Dunce of the game.
See, we need a positive one, and we need a dunce of the day too. So when they lose, we have someone to blame and someone to give all the credit to when we win.
Yep. You mean not Rally Chris?
Well, he'll take that no matter the W, man. He gets that. Oh, he's like, I have 72 wins this year.
Yeah. Rally Chris and Rally Randy, those knuckleheads.
Yeah. Always try to take credit, man. Always try.
The Rally Brothers. The Rally Bros.
Oh my god. Instead of the Splash Bros, it's the Rally Bros.
Oh, the Bash Bros? Move out of the way. Bye to them. It's time for the Rally Bros.
It's a Rally Bro. That would be awesome on a shirt, dude. Rally Chris with his ears, and then we gotta get Randy with his like mean looking
All
Irish
angry.
eyes. Yeah.
I don't know why. When I like thought about Randy, I imagine like Grumpy from Snow White.
God damn it.
Dude,
Love you, Randy.
If we made Randy shorter than what he is right now, he'd be really pissed off, dude.
Oh, I wasn't talking about him being short. I was just talking about the face. It canceled again, Doug.
Dude, Randy knows I love him, man. He's like the artist extraordinaire. He's the one that came up with all these shirts, but I thought he was gonna be taller. That's all I thought. I thought he was gonna be around my height.
That's fine. I thought you were going to be shorter, so.
Oh god.
That's fair.
No.
That's what she said.
That's fair.
All right.
Well, we did the fans a favor and didn't really talk about the series because there was really nothing to talk about. After that White Sox series, the A's and the Astros have all been pretty laughable.
Yes, they have.
I think we're winning right now.
We are winning, yes. I believe it's 3-1. I'm waiting for this to update.
Yeah, they
Captain Jack.
Yeah, Jack actually came through with a big hit. So
Yep.
So yeah,
No,
since then we're moving on. Let's see who was after Chicago. We'll just get into a brief description because we've gone a little bit here on the show. Here, let's see.
We got swept by Oakland.
Yeah, we got our ass handed to us by Oakland, and then
Yep, we lost 4-5 on Friday, 1-3 on Saturday, and then 2-3 on Sunday.
Awesome hitting right there.
that was great.
Yeah.
See, the pitching's been stand up in all those series, but they just can't score. So then that brought us to Oakland or to Houston, and there was a page. It was actually another Angels page, and they put on there. They said, "Well, we got swept by Houston after last night's game." I'm like, "Whoa!" In the comments, I put, "We still got tomorrow to get swept first. You know, we got one more game with Houston. I know you're thinking ahead, but we still got one more game."
They might have jinxed it. So if that's the case, then we need to tell them that we need them to say for the rest of the year, we're going to get swept by the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Mariners again.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
We just need to win on some winning notes.
We and the fact that
On some winning notes, sorry.
Yeah, the fact that we're in the final. After tonight, it's 9 games left.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Single digits finally. But yeah, this game, if we hold on here, we'll get to 73 wins. If we had 72 2 years or 3 years ago, was it 2019 Osmus year, 72 wins? I think that sounds about right. Yeah. So we're coming down the stretch here. It's been a long freaking season. What do you think they finish in the let's get your comments. What do you guys think they finish in the final 9 games against Texas and Seattle?
We're about to get swept by Seattle this first round at home for fan appreciation.
Oh, gee.
That's gonna be the Angels gift. Like, hey fans.
Dude, there's like no hesitation. She's like, yeah, we're getting swept by Seattle. Fans appreciation. FU. It's over.
Yeah, we're gonna get swept by Seattle at home. That's gonna be nice. This is fine. Then 3 games with the Rangers. I'm gonna pull a rally, Chris. I'm gonna go 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 for the Rangers.
Okay.
And then that last Seattle series, I'll say we take 1 game. We take 1. So I think we're only going to win 4 of these last 9.
Oh, man. Yeah, because look, we actually could play spoiler real quick, Fernando, because they're only Mariners are only 2 games out of the wild card, and they need these wins. The Mariners have beaten Oakland back-to-back nights to push them 4 back. That could have eliminated Oakland. But we have 6 games left with Seattle. We can knock them out too. What do you think, Fernando?
Ooh.
Well, I think they win Sunday at least because Otani's pitching. That'll be his last home start. I think Otani's going to do some like out of this world voodoo magic and like single-handedly win his 10th game. He's like, no, guys, today's the day. And I think he just like hits 14 home runs in a single game. pitches 2 no-hitters in 9 innings.
Wow, that's crazy.
he's just gonna say F the rules. We're doing it my way today.
He's gonna have, like,
be like on a sick one, just like it's all me. Like no,
It's gonna be corny on like 4 espresso shots, just brute strength, everything,
Okay,
breaking steel chains.
Yeah, my white girl strength is coming out now that it's fall season. So get me a pumpkin spice latte, and I'm just like, let's go,
boys. Yeah, so I think that's what's going to happen. So Otani, I think it's a 1 out of 3 series, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think we do win the series against the Rangers. I'm going to say 2 out of 3. And then that last Seattle series, I'm sure we'll do another episode before then. So,
Yeah.
So I'll wait till then to make that prediction. But I'm hoping we can at least win 1 game there.
There you go. All right. I'm kind of under the impression that we'll finish 3-6. I think we'll win 1 out of the 5, like you guys said, against Seattle, and then probably just take 2 out of 3 from do the old rally Chris against the Rangers.
6 times.
Huh?
We have a 3-game series, 3-3.
Oh yeah, I said 1 out of 5.
So you said 3-6?
There we go.
Yeah, and I got them winning 2 out of 3 against Texas.
Oh,
Okay.
So.
okay.
But yeah, and I'm hoping our boy Packy has 2 more shots at a win. Got to get that guy a win before the end of the season.
I know, like he's done really well. I mean,
Yeah.
for him just being thrown into the fire, like I'm proud of Packy, and it's not biased. It's not because interview.
And Joe keeps.
It's a little biased.
It's a little
It
bit,
is.
yeah. And Joe
But we
keeps
like it.
taking him out early too. So like, I would love to see if we can interview him after the season, just to see how he dealt with everything and what his impressions are on being now a major league pitcher for the first time.
I
Getting
imagine
some starts.
he's like it's trash.
Yeah, I don't like it that much. Yeah, I'm gonna retire. Well, we have 3 interviews set so far for the off season. So I mean 4. We never reached out to Rick Waltz again. So
Oh, shoot. Yeah, we
4.
better talk to him. I'm gonna hit up Packy though. I think either tonight or tomorrow. I'll hit him up and see if he'll come on again with us.
He's like, I want to be a trash panda again.
Yeah, I liked it better
Yeah.
there. They had better internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a fun season so far, and we're not going to end it here. We've got many podcasts for the off season because we're going to be talking about Angels history. We're going to do stuff that the Angels did not do this year, and we're gonna educate, and we're also going to talk about some fun times, not so fun times. And we're going to have a lot of Major League Baseball to talk about, not just the Angels, but there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that we're going to get into and announce for this page, and for the podcast. So we're going to try to salvage, though, in the next 1 or 2 podcasts, because I'm sure we're going to do one, like Fernando said, before the end of the season and before the end of that last 3-game series. And we'll probably do a final one for just to wrap up the season, and then we'll get into our off-season stuff, right?
Yeah, I think we said that we are going to do like a super show, right? Where we were hoping to get everybody, Chase and Andrew and James and everybody on a giant round table so we can truly talk about the highs and especially the lows of the season. I got to exaggerate lows. That's primarily what it's been. But, there's some fun things to cover, obviously, like Otani and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really about it.
Yeah, I was like, you mean the only thing that we can cover?
And having Trout for about a month. That was cool.
That was
It's
fun.
lit. He had a WAR of 2 and he only played like 36 games.
Love it.
There you go. Love to see it.
Wow, that's awesome. But any final thoughts on this show today?
No.
No? Okay. All right. So for Oh, and that's the thing too. Check out the merchandise at redbubble.com. It is really good. Like I said, Randy's been doing a great job. Fernando's been doing a good job of putting it out there too. This stuff's been, it's going to take, if you're going to want to get some of these shirts, they're really cool. There's a lot of cool designs. And check us out there too. Look up www.halosintheinfield.com to see all of our content, and check out the podcast forum, YouTube that you're watching right now, anything. We've got it all there. And then there's going to be a lot of community outreach things that we're putting out there too that we might be doing to do what others aren't doing. Right, Fernando?
Hell yeah.
So we've got some ideas. He's got some ideas, and we've been reaching out. Courtney's doing her thing in Riverside, so if anything comes Riverside's way, she's going to be there for sure, right? Yeah, not too confident there.
She still has those signed baseballs.
Oh, my balls! You guys want to see my balls?
Let's check it out.
Yeah. Well, and Randy said that it would be a good idea to give those out during the off season. I think we all mutually agree. Like, yeah, off season probably makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But my balls.
All right, there you go.
How many signatures would you say are on each one, roughly? If you had to guess.
It looks like there's about a good 7 to 8, maybe even 10, 10 on each ball. So
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty
There you
good.
go.
Signed by our 66ers when we went and dropped off the food to them. So thank you to everybody who donated. And in return, they gave us the signed baseballs. That way we could raffle away to our fans. So we
For free.
Yes, for free.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So we'll be doing that soon. I just wanted everybody to see my balls.
Win Courtney's balls is the next segment for Halos in the Infield.
Yeah, right.
Get your hands on Courtney's balls.
Oh, yes, that's where I love it.
So,
Oh, no.
For Todd Fox and
Courtney.
Fernando.
have a good evening.
Good night, guys.